Hey, good morning, guys. It's time for us to do our math lesson today. And today we will be doing some Lego math. I thought that would be kind of fun to do this week. We're actually going to be doing Lego math this whole month, different ways to use Legos in math. Today we're going to be talking about something we talked about a lot at the first of the year, and we've done some throughout the year, but I wanted to really revisit it because actually, while we've all been in school, I've been doing some research and some different things to help us to be better with our number sense base. And one of the things that I found was that learning about patterns is crucial for you to understand number sense and how number patterns work and how counting and adding and subtraction, everything stems from your number sense, and your number sense starts with understanding patterns in the world around you. So that's some school that I have been doing while we've been out. I've been doing some little homework. So I made this little sheet that says pattern. What is a pattern? A pattern is a recurring form, design, or number representation. So I'm going to hold it up. Form, we think of form usually as in shapes, some kind of a form. Designs, we can use pictures or different things. And then a number representation would be like a growing pattern. It would be like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. The pattern is growing as it goes up. So this is just my idea of kind of showing you why patterns were important. And we're going to be talking about patterns today. So I'm actually going to stick it right here so I can reference it all throughout the day while we're talking. So I told you to make sure you had your Legos. So I hope you have like a Lego bucket. I found some Legos that we needed, but I also have this little Lego plate, and I'm actually going to turn my camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so there's my workspace right here. So I hope you can see it. So there's my workspace, and for today, you're only going to need what I call the 1x1 blocks. Let me get a better color. This red. A 1x1 block. It's the little bitty tiny one block. That's all you're going to need for today. So you need lots of different colors, but you're going to need at least 5 of each color. So like for example, my boys brought me all the ones that we had yesterday that we could find, and so I have those different colors, and I have 5 of them. 5, and they each have 5 little individual blocks, as we see. So what I need you to do today is to get your 1x1s, because the first pattern that we're going to talk about today is a color pattern. And I'm going to show you how to make one. So if your square isn't as big as mine, that's okay. My daughter has some smaller squares that she uses all the time in her Lego building, so that's fine. Hi, Miss Elsa. No, I can't hold you right now. I know. Get down, baby. Get down. All right, so I have my square, and I'm going to choose the white and the red. Now, it really doesn't matter. Like this one happens to be a more rounded shape. That's fine. I'm not worried about shape. I'm worried about colors. So right now, I want you to pick out 5 of one color and 5 of another color. Like I have white and I have red. So I'm going to let you pick those out, and I'm going to take Miss Elsa to the next room. So she will let me have class. Hang on just a second. Okay, I apologize for that. So we have our pieces now. So to make a color pattern, you're going to pick one of them to start. So for example, I'm going to start with the red. So I would have my red, and then I would do a white. Then I would have a red, and I would do a white. I would have a red, and I would do a white. So if you notice, our color pattern is red, white, red, white, red, white. What type of pattern do we call this? Well, some of you are probably already shouting it out. I bet you're already shouting it out at your house. Uh-oh, I messed up my pattern. So, it is an A-B pattern. An A-B pattern. So, there's my A-B pattern. And I have my A is my red one because it's the whatever you start with is the first A. So A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, and I would just continue the pattern on if I have more Legos. That's the beauty about Legos is you can build patterns with Legos pretty much out of anything you have. So I have my red and my white, and so I've made my pattern. That's an A-B pattern. Anytime you just have two things that you're using in your pattern, it's an A-B pattern. It could be colors, it could be shapes. We're just working with colors today. So it could be anything that has just an A-B pattern. A-B, A-B, A-B. So for example, my next one, and you can tell my little boys like to build the Star Wars characters. I have a gray piece, and there's like a brown piece that builds a set. So I could do another A-B pattern. This time I would start with the gray. All right. So I have my A, and then my B was my brown. So A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. So I have another pattern, just like we built our first one with A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. Now, like I said, these are different shapes. Like I have a circular shape and a square shape. That doesn't matter. What I'm looking for right today is I want to see your color difference, so two different colors, and I want you to build me an A-B pattern. Okay? So you would start with the first one. Whatever color you put down first, whatever you put down first in the pattern, that's always your A. That's always your A. And then the second one would be your B. Now for our patterns right now, we have A, B, A, B, A, B. We just have two parts. So in your journal, this is how you would record that in your journal. So I would so at the top of my page, I would write patterns, because we're going to be doing patterns all week. Patterns, just like that. I would write that at the top of my page. Patterns. Then I would draw, now I'm just going to draw one big square like this, a big square, and I'm not going to worry a ton about everything being perfect. But if you are like me and you really want it to look right, what I would do is I would use my ruler, and I went and bought some rulers the other day, so because I was tired of my lines being really, really crazy looking. So I have almost, I should have measured with my ruler this time, but I have almost 4 inches. So I'm going to make some straight lines. I'm just going to make some boxes. And I'm going to do my best to make them as close to the same size as I can. Now, this is how you could draw a Lego board on your paper. Chances are, if you have Legos, you have a Lego board, you are good to go. But if you don't have a Lego board, you could use this as your Lego board. Now, whether you have a Lego board or not, I still want you to, and we're just going to forget that part right there because it's all messed up. Now I'm just going to scribble it out. There we go. So, and then I'm going to use my notebook paper lines as, I'm just going to line my, so that it lines up and I can make straight lines going across, just like you would have on your board. So I still want you to draw this in your notebooks because I want you to show me how you made your patterns, and I'm going to show you how to draw it. It's going to be really simple. So as soon as I get finished drawing it, you can be drawing it with me. And so you'll need one of these for each day. So if you want to go ahead and make a board on each page, you can. So I'm just going to make a circle in the middle of each one, because that makes it look like the Lego board that we have that we're using. So when I color in my code for my color code, my AB, I'm going to have the 2 examples that I showed you, and then I want you to create 2 more examples of an AB color pattern. And I'm almost done. Thank you for being patient with me, because I wanted you to see how to actually draw this today. Tomorrow I'll have mine already drawn, but I wanted to show you how to draw your little board. So that's my Lego board. Like I said, forget this little part over here. It just didn't work out right. So I'll be better tomorrow with my drawing. So there's my first one. So what I would do is down here at the bottom, I would write a number 1. So the very first pattern that I showed you to make was a red and a white, a red and a white, a red and a white. Red was your A. That was your start. So I'm going to get my crayon box out. So I'm going to find my red crayon. Now, I don't need to have my white crayon because I can leave the space white in here. So I'm going to number, let's just say the top line, I'm going to number it 1. So I'm going to say A was red and B was white. So there's the words red and white, which those are color words. Those should be words that we're familiar with. And so I'm going to make a little dot beside the red. If you want to with your white crayon, you could. It won't really show up, but you can still do it. It wouldn't hurt it to do it. So there, your red and your white. So on that top line where I've made my 1, that's where I'm going to start with my A. So red was my A. Now I'm going to leave the second one blank, or white, for B. Then red. All right, and then another white one for B. A is red. Another white one for B. A is red. Another white one for B. A is red. And then you have a white one for B. All right, so there's my first pattern, number 1. I'm showing you my pattern. So then the second pattern we built was brown and gray. And so I'm going to skip a line on my board so that I have space. So I'm going to do my number 2 right there. And I'm going to write number 2 down here. So my A for number 2 was gray. And my B for number 2 was brown. So there you go. Gray and brown. So gray is my first, gray is my A. So right beside that 2, I would color it in gray. And then I'd have my B right beside it. Then I'd have my gray for A again. Then I'd have my B. So today we're just doing an A, B pattern with our colors. A, B pattern. Tomorrow we'll do a different pattern. So I'm just going to finish out my color pattern there. A is gray, B is brown. A is gray, B is brown. So we've created 2 together. I want you to create, you're going to create 2 on your own. So you're going to have a 3 and a 4. So up here on my chart, I'm going to make a 3 and a 4. And then down here, I'll have a 3 and a 4. Now, don't forget, we're just doing A and B. So you're going to create your pictures or your patterns with 2 colors. So you would write down whatever color you want to use for A and B. Show it to me up here. I do want you to physically build it because I want you to see your pattern and see how it works. The A-B pattern works. A-B, 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 A-B. What would come next? A red. Next would be white. A B, A, red, white, B. That's our first pattern that we did. And then we had a second pattern that we did with the gray and the brown. So you're going to create 2 more A-B patterns, just A-B patterns. And I want you to use 2 different colors on each one. So like you could do purple and green and blue and yellow or whatever colors you have. Just make sure that they're 2 different colors for A and B and then another set of 2 colors for A and B. So these should be 4 different colors. So you'd have 2 here and 2 here. And then you would draw it out on your board just like that. If you wanted to make 5 more, like if you wanted to make, 5 totals, you could make 1 more down here. That would be fine too. So you could make 2 or 3 more A-B patterns. I just want to see that you can extend the pattern. Extending means we start a pattern and then you can finish it. So like for this one, we made it and then we extended it out. So you could keep going and build it all the way to the end of your board. I don't know how big your board is, but we could keep going all the way to the end of the board and you could have lines of patterns. And it's very much like coding because you have a pattern in coding. There's a pattern to the letters that go into coding and what we use to tell computers what to do. So patterning is in everything. There's a pattern for everything. So today I want you to work on your A-B patterns. I told you had to do 2. If you want to be an overachiever and do 3, that would be really cool. And so you would show me again on your board. I showed you how to draw your board. And I will see you tomorrow for morning meeting at 8 a.m. I love you guys, and I can't wait to be back with you guys again soon. Bye.